And we on.
Yes, sir.
Brandon Moran.
That's the government name.
That's the name I'm gonna use for the title.
Brandon Moran.
Brandon Moran.
Brandon Luis Moran.
Bro, last time I had you on, bro, it's been 2019. 2021, sorry. 2021.
That is 3 years, brother. When was that? February or was that
February 19th.
February 19th? That's almost 4 years.
It's a long time, bro.
Yes, sir.
Last time I had you on, I told you earlier I was listening to it. You know, we went out for dinner earlier.
Yes, sir.
You know, had to. But I was telling you, like, last time I had you on, we were talking about you had goals set in place.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about real estate, where you wanted to be in 6 to 8 months. And now look, bro, it's been 3 years. You gotta let us know what's going on, bro. Talk to me.
Yeah, so Brandon Moran, he said the name. I'm in real estate. I'm a real estate agent here in New York, Keller Williams. I do a bunch of entrepreneurial stuff that I was telling Nico about that we'll probably discuss today. But been Nico's friend for, I don't know, what is it, almost like 7-8 years now?
A long time.
When did we graduate high school?
2019.
So like probably almost like close to 8 years. We've been
About,
friends, right?
Yeah, about.
No. Baseball?
Oh, yeah, it goes back.
Grade?
9th grade. So even longer.
So, yeah, almost like 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So, yeah, I do real estate. I do a bunch of things with credit, teach people how to get lines of credit and stuff like that. So, I'm excited to be here, for sure.
Any major changes? Exciting?
Major
Anything exciting
changes
happening?
from when?
From when we last spoke?
From 2019? I can't even remember 2019. 2019, what was I doing when I spoke? I was probably doing life insurance.
I think a life insurance and a bit of 404.
404 was a thing?
That was a thing.
Was that mentioned in the podcast?
That was mentioned.
You checked?
Yeah.
So 404, a little bit of backstory, was my clothing line at the time. I guess it was... Nah, bro, there's no way 404 was mentioned.
It was.
Damn. Yeah. Did I mention, like, trying to bring it back? Because it was
briefly.
Okay, so in that time, 404 didn't happen, but then I started System a couple months later, so I guess I hit that goal.
Yeah.
Which was another clothing line I had. I had my first clothing line at 16, did 404, and then I did System in 2021, and then now I'm here. So I honestly, there's a lot of changes. I worked a full-time job, part-time job, did a bunch in sales, and I've honestly grown as a person, I think. So yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about me, but yeah, so.
Nah, I'm just happy, bro, because we haven't spoken in a long time.
Yeah.
And today was one of the first days that we spoke in a while.
A long time.
So we had a bit catching up to do, which I'm very happy we did.
Yeah.
But I see that you're in real estate.
Sir.
What inspired you, bro?
Real estate, I mean, if I was talking about real estate in 2019, imagine how long it took me to get to this point.
Yeah.
To where I can say, like, I'm in real estate full time. I'm a real estate expert. And I can say that because I've been studying it since that time. And like just like studying fix and flip, taking courses, reading books, watching YouTube videos. Like, I've immersed myself into real estate. So I can call myself an expert now. I have my license legally with the state. So I'm honestly proud of myself in that aspect, I guess you can say. Yeah, real estate it's it right now. It's pretty hot market in New York. I don't know about other markets. I know North Carolina's picking up as well. Florida's also picking up a little bit. It's a little crazy right now.
What's the process of going through it and getting that license in New York, you could say?
So the process is funny in New York because all you need is 75 hours, right? Or 77 and a half hours is what you need for the allotted time.
Right.
It's funny because a little bit backstory. I don't think I even told you this. I was at Verizon full time, and I went So I was at Verizon for 1 year. Within that year, I got promoted. So I went to acting manager within like maybe 4 or 5 months. Started September, February, I was an acting manager, which has never happened in history of Verizon, I don't think. Then within a year got promoted. So before my whole year hit, I became a manager,
Right.
which hasn't happened in Verizon history at that point. Then within 3 months, I was like, this is not for me. I don't want to be a manager. I don't even know if like I can play that game, because to get to that route of like, I'm going to make 6 figures, I'm going to make a lot of money in Verizon, that takes a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was making good money at the time. I was like 20, making like 70,000. But to go from there to a higher leverage point, like in making 200,000, it takes a long, long time. So I quit being a manager, and they actually gave me an opportunity to become part-time because I wanted to get into real estate. And we were talking about wholesaling earlier.
Yeah.
I wanted to do wholesaling real estate. That ended up in the beginning not working out, but I was part-time for a little bit, and I was trying to get into real estate, and then worked at a local office doing like property management stuff. And worked at the office for a little bit, and he was like, you should get your license. I was studying the license from that point, like January of that year till January. Like legit, I got a message from the course, like, if you don't take your test now, you're gonna have to retake the course. I was like, I'm not paying another $99. I'm taking the course. Took the course, and then from there it's like history. Like now we're here, which is like 6 months later. So
would you say those are like the biggest challenges?
If it was a big challenge,
of any, like, are those the biggest?
It wasn't a big challenge. A lot of challenges was within myself, honestly. Playing freaking Call of Duty. Rank play was on and active at the time. Like, I was doing that. I was enjoying life a little bit because when I was a manager and when I was working Verizon full time, I was still a kid. So I was like, I never got to like go on vacation real quick on a whim. And then I was only working 24 hours, so I had that time.
Yeah.
I was going like North Carolina. I think I went to Florida. Like, I did all that stuff, which was fun, but I really had to like lock in. And then December of 2023, last year, I locked in for like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, got my license, passed first time, and then now I'm here.
Damn.
Yeah. So
that's fun. That seems like fun, bro. How'd you feel when you got it?
When I got it?
Was it
the license?
Yeah, how'd you feel?
I mean, I was like, yeah, I passed. You know? Like, this is just the first step. And I honestly didn't feel that great about myself.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, you know what? Like, this is just the first step, and I could have completed this step a year ago, 2 years ago when I was 18, But, like, I always look at life like that, and, like, it's hard to enjoy life that way. But, I mean, I guess that's, like, a mindset of a high-driven person. Like, I could have done this, like, a while ago,
What would you say is, like, the first initial step you took after getting it? Do you know what you want to do exactly?
Yeah. So the first step, so while I was taking my license, I was reading this book called the Red Book of Real Estate, Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller, which is actually the CEO of Keller Williams.
Yeah.
So I knew, like, obviously when you get your license, you had to hang it at a brokerage, because they had to hold your license. So I read the book, and it teaches you, like, you have to learn to earn. This is what you have to do to hit $1 million, like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at brokerages at the time. Like, I didn't know like what to be at. I was looking at YouTube videos, of course, and they were saying like you should join a team. I started looking for teams. I spoke to a couple of brokerages, and then I landed at Keller Williams with Team Rivera. So yeah, those were like the next steps.
Nice. After that, then what was any interesting stories in it?
Stories like
first deal.
I mean, like,
what was that like?
It's hard because you're kind of like going with the flow. Like at Verizon, it was easy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of people like at Verizon, like, oh, I'm not gonna hit my commission this month. Like what are you talking about right now? Right? Because you have people coming into the door.
Yeah.
The reason why you're not selling to them is because you're not analyzing the account, right? And you're not seeing what they need, and you're not seeing how you can maximize on their needs, right?
Right.
So that was easy to me. That's why I got promoted so fast. And then after I got promoted and I went and I took a downgrade and went part-time, like my sales got better because I was looking at it from a manager's perspective and stuff. Real estate is like completely opposite. It's like you have to go find the opportunity.
I'm sure you can use the same skills you have, and
No, 100%. It's transferable, but
what makes it more difficult?
there's no one walking into the door, right? Not unless your marketing is like top
It's
tier.
you seeking those people.
You're seeking the people. You have to speak to people you know. It's not as easy as like I said earlier, Instagram, TikTok makes it seem like you have to work.
Yeah.
Like there's some days where I work starting at 8, maybe ending the day at 9.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm taking like a little lunch break here and there, but it's like I was working basically the whole time.
Right.
You know?
I can see how that's more challenging,
Yeah.
especially for someone who doesn't maybe have those skills, or maybe they struggle with it, or they're not that.
Or
good.
the discipline, like, and that's where I appreciate Verizon. Because before Verizon, I was still a little kid. I was like 19. I'm still a little kid now, technically, but I was like 18 when I started Verizon. Then I turned 19 at the same time. I was a little like I was hopping in and out of jobs. Verizon was the first job where I stayed there for a long time, 2.5 years. So that's kind of where I built my skill set, my discipline, learning to stick through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For people who are trying to get into this now, you think it's hard?
What, real estate?
Yeah. Because you always hear now, I feel like everyone's trying to be like a mini entrepreneur, or they want to be their own businessman.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think real estate is hard. I think anything you get into is hard. I just think it's what discipline are you willing to take, and what actions and what sacrifices. Because any podcasting is hard, right?
Yeah.
Like this looks easy, like we're just talking here, but like
I have my struggles.
yeah, you have your struggles, right?
struggles.
You had to look at the equipment you're getting. You
I have
had
my
to,
struggles with it.
you know, you just recently started this up again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like everything is hard. It's just you gotta choose your hard,
Yeah.
right?
See how far you can go through with it.
Yeah, it's
I feel like a lot of people have breaking points when they start shit. So it just right there, you see if they can still keep it going or they give up.
Yeah, for sure.
So no, I definitely feel like that. I felt like that too when I started this up.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's like, yo, should I even start this? Right?
Yeah.
Like I think Alex Hormozy says the best. It's like he's like uninformed optimism. Like when you get into a business model and you see it, you're like, this is dope. I can make this money in this amount of time. But then you get into it, you're like, this is hard.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you get into podcasting, like, yo, I can probably make it out in a year and get these sponsorships and get these listeners.
Until you
do the work.
First start doing it.
Yeah.
And then
it's like, all right.
Start seeing the analytics, start seeing the numbers, and you're like, I don't know if I can do this.
Right, exactly.
I think it's even worse too when you have people who kind of discourage you.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of bad feedback.
Yeah.
But that's like with anything though.
For sure.
That'll come and grow.
Give me something spicy, Nico.
What's the current market like?
The current market,
Yeah.
We
can dive into like more crazy shit too.
No, we need crazy shit. Like we need people to watch this over and over again.
So one thing I've been looking into is I don't know if you heard of BlackRock.
Yeah, of course.
How they've been buying like a lot of
properties
and shit, and how a lot of people are saying it's concerning.
Concerning in what way though, right? Because I understand you're looking at it from like, and I don't want to get into like these hypothetical. Can they see me or not? Like I feel like they can see me, right?
You're good.
Like I don't want to get into like this. Oh, entrepreneurs don't pay taxes. Jeff Bezos don't pay taxes. Blah blah. Like they're taking all the houses for the regular people, but it's like there's only a certain amount of regular people that are willing to do the work.
That's what people
to get
are saying.
to the spot they need to get to.
Right.
Right. Like how hard are you going to work to get your first house? Right. Like why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you at least getting a small portion of what BlackRock is getting? If you see this big company is investing in real estate, why aren't you trying to invest in real estate? If your credit's not there, fix your credit. Work more hours to fix your credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the money, find the money, right? So it's like, I'm this age and you're this age, you're doing a podcast. Like I can make so many excuses to why I'm not doing it, right? Or I can just maybe try starting, maybe fail a little bit, and then eventually get there. So that's my side of the story, or at least my point of view. But it is concerning, of course. Like, yo, this company's like buying up all the fair share in the marketplace.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, let me get my fair share too. You know?
Isn't that a problem? Because wouldn't they be able to become like a monopoly at that point?
Of course. But that's like Apple, right?
Or like anything.
Right. It's like any company. It's like, yo, this company is this good at this. They have leverage in this. They have the resources. They're gonna put their all into this. They might become a monopoly. Yeah, they might. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you start owning a little bit of your own, like, you'll be okay. You don't need to be BlackRock. You can have 10 properties and be good. Right? So that's the way I look at it.
So you feel like it's just more of like a trend then? People just kind of just hyping it up.
Of course. You like those people that post that stuff, if you look at it, it's bigger pages. Right? And you know why they post it? Because it gets people emotionally involved. Oh, I worked so hard to get this, and I don't have anything. It gets people in the comments. It gets people to share. And that's why they're posting it. Negativity wins on social media, 100%. I'm not trying to be that person. I'm trying to be the positive person. But if you want to start a page and grow quick, post some negative news, and you'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's like any other like type of news channel. Everything you see on the news is horrible shit.
I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news.
It's depressing.
Yeah,
but it gets people hyped though.
When I used to talk to my grandma, like when I was like 15 years old, bro, she would put the news on. I'm like, I'm not watching that. Everything you watch on there is negative. Like, oh my god, this happened to this person and this person. Like, why would I want to watch that? Like, I understand you have to be aware, but why would I want to watch that if it's all negative?
But that's like everything though. Even like, I think that's what draws us, attention to everyone. The seeing like negative shit.
Yeah.
Whenever you see positive things, like people hyping it up or people posting and sharing.
I mean, people do it now, like affirmations and stuff like that. But the negative stuff is.
But to draw people in though, a lot you see that quite common.
BlackRock is taking your fair share. Like, why aren't you getting the you're emotionally triggering the people to follow you.
So you don't really think it's that concerning?
I mean, it's gonna happen regardless. Like the Rockefeller family did it. Trump family did it. It's gonna happen regardless, bro. But you gotta find a way either to get in the rooms that BlackRock is in, like find people that are doing it, or like just sit there and be like, oh, it's happening to me too. And be a victim. Like I'm not trying to be a victim.
How you can get yourself in there with them?
Yeah, for sure.
Are there any other companies that you see that are like that? Probably a bunch.
There's a couple. Zillow is one of the enemies.
Really?
Zillow's the enemy. Zillow, you know what they do? And I'm about to get banned off Zillow. But Zillow, they take a listing. Let's say I post this house as a listing.
Right?
And I'm not going to drop the Addy, but let's say I post a house,
Don't
right?
Do that.
Let's say I post a house. I'm listing it. Brandon Moran, the listing agent. Right?
Right.
Listed it. Pictures, everything. Zillow's going to do the most they can to hide my face and hide my name. You know why?
Why?
Because they have their own Zillow agent that they want to represent on that deal. They don't want any of your branding on there.
That makes sense.
Right? So they're taking a market share. They're taking a market share, right? But me as the agent, I don't like Zillow. Zillow's taking my fair share. I still have to post on Zillow, right?
Right.
To get my listing out there. So it's like it's either you're gonna be a victim or you're gonna do something about it.
Damn.
Right? You know what I mean?
You're fucked.
You're fucked.
You got to do it somehow.
Fucked.
What about getting into the current market for real estate?
As far as like a buyer or
currently now, because you were talking earlier, you were saying how it's really good. Market's really good. It's up.
So market is up, right?
Talk to me about that.
There's very low inventory currently, so it's still, if you will, a seller's market. Only problem is sellers aren't trying to move because they know the situation. Like they got in at a low interest rate. They can't sell because if they buy, they're gonna get into a bigger interest rate.
Right.
But had that seller have to move or have to sell their property, they're gonna get money top dollar if it's in clean shape and we can market it. It's getting over ask every time. Currently, right now, what is this? June 2024, right now. So don't come for me when we make it and this podcast is 200,000 views.
I appreciate that.
But June 2024 in New York, specifically Long Island, it's super hot right now. If you're looking to sell your house, hit me up, of course. Shameless plug. But if your house is in clean shape, we have great pictures. We host a great open house. We market the listing for you. And we put it at the right price.
Mm-hmm.
It's selling. Because that's half of the battle, right? A lot of sellers are like, no, I want this for my property.
Right.
I want 800,000. Their house is worth 700. So how am me as a listing agent? I have to go in there and have that conversation. Like, no, we should list at 650, get more people in the door, have them pay over asking, and get your house sold for 720. But that's a harder conversation to have, right?
Right.
So that's kind of the market now. I think we're in a great spot. I think it's gonna pick up after elections.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be in the space now and starting now.
You see yourself growing with this company?
100%.
Company here?
It's a little bit different in real estate. Like you can grow in the company, but like it's not like Verizon where like I'm a manager and a manager and a manager.
You just
like,
keep building up.
I'm just gonna keep building my own personal business. Yes, yeah, for sure.
Would you, after building up enough, let's say skills and knowledge and shit, would you plan on having your own firm? Opening up your own spot
my
eventually?
own brokerage?
Yeah.
Maybe. Reason I say maybe is because I know a lot of people that have teams in Keller Williams. I know a couple people that own their own brokerages. And I've seen a lot of people with the team-based model in Keller happy. Just because of what Keller provides. If you're an agent and you're able to close a lot of business, and you're able to cap, which a capping model is like when you're able to pay for, basically pay off all the commissions and then have 100% commission.
Right.
And you're able to have a team behind you, like you're gonna do well. I think it's just because like having your own brokerage is very stressful as far as like legality goes, paperwork. On top of that, with Keller, you have a lot of resources. You meet a lot of people that can help you along the way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Any skills that you've picked
Give
up?
me some spicy stuff, Nico.
We're building it up. We're building it up there.
We need some spicy stuff.
Like what?
I don't know. Give me something spicy, like.
Well, you're more knowledgeable in this field than I am, so.
Correct.
So you can hit me up with stuff.
Any skills I built?
Yeah, towards it.
Towards real estate?
Yeah.
Tenacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to be able to follow up. Like a lot of people say no. A lot of people hang up on the phone. Like you just have to keep going. I think that's the biggest skill set. Like if I don't make
A lot of rejection.
Yeah, a lot of rejection. If I don't make it, but I keep going, I think that's like a goal to hit. It's consistency.
What are some things that you see working in this that you want to like share? Things that you don't like, things that you like.
As far as like if someone was to be like
in
a
this
real
field
estate
in
agent
general,
or
in general, yeah.
Like if you're looking to become a real estate agent, you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, things to look out for is like, are you willing to put in the time? Because a lot of people want to be part-time and I'll sell a house or two to my family members, which that could work for some people. I'm not hating on it. But honestly, like I told you, like, this business is very hard to be part-time in my opinion. If you're getting the leads, you have to follow up with them and it just takes up a lot of time. Unless you have systems in place, of course, but that takes time to get to. And I think if you're not willing to put in the time, if you're not willing to get a bunch of rejection, don't do it. If you're willing to come in here and really grind your way to the top, then do it. Yeah, give me some spicy stuff, Nico.
Bro, you're the one with all the knowledge,
I want
bro.
spicy stuff. Yeah, give me some spicy questions then. For those of you who don't know, we're just laughing. We had a dinner. Me and Nico had a dinner, so we're just like chilling at this point.
It was a good dinner.
But we didn't speak about anything business, so that's what I'm saying. Like, give me something spicy.
I'm still locked into like what we were talking about.
What, earlier?
Yeah. It was a good time. Good time we had.
Yeah,
Good time
for sure. But we're trying to make this podcast productive as far as business goes, knowledgeable, so people know. Educational, same thing as knowledgeable.
Same shit.
No,
but
we're trying to provide value for you guys, but also make it very spicy.
The reason why I wouldn't have you on is because I feel like I feel like you going into this and you know, last time I spoke to you was like years ago.
Right.
And you're at a different spot, so
right.
I just want to see what you know, what you could share, any advice you can give me.
Yeah, of course.
Especially.
I think when we spoke on the pod, were we talking about credit or no?
We talked a little bit about credit, I think.
A little bit, right? That's crazy. Because at that time, I think we were talking about like the business credit card I got at that time, right?
Yeah.
Damn, my memory's crazy. Anyways, I think I was talking about like the Chase credit card I got.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a $3,000 approval or something, and then we were talking about like
something
affiliate
like
marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's grown crazy. I probably have like access to like $300,000 right now. So from 3K to like 300 is like crazy. So that's something I've been working on the sidelines. I'm mainly focused on real estate, but I kind of help business owners get 0% interest. So financing through credit cards, lines of credit. So that's something I'm pretty passionate about just because I did it for myself and I like to help others do it.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah. What's the questions you have for me, bro? Give me the spicy question.
I feel like every question that I ask you, you're like, I need something more spicy.
I want something spicy.
I'm not in this market, so I'm not too knowledgeable with this.
Give me something spicy.
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. You see, there you go.
Talk to me.
Work-life balance is hard. Right now, it's hard. I'm getting everything started. So I do real estate. I'm a real estate agent in New York. Buying a couple properties in North Carolina at the moment. So getting everything situated as far as that goes is pretty rough. Just because I'm starting everything. So we have no systems in place. Obviously learning from the best. So that's not really a struggle there. But, you know, everyone has their startup ebbs and flows. So that's kind of hard. Like,
what's the mentorship like?
Mentorship in real estate with Keller? Mm-hmm. It's amazing. I mean, I have Team Rivera, so Steven Rivera, Rose Rivera, shout out to you. Steven is like a big mentor of mine. Any question I have, he answers. Text him, call him. Like, he's a great guy. He's a real estate agent primarily, loan officer, investor. So, like, if I have a question, I'm going to him. That's really, like, a big part of it. So that, but like going back to work-life balance, it's kind of rough right now, honestly. Yeah. I'm working, like, that's the thing about entrepreneurship. When you ask me, like, what are some things to look out for when you're becoming a real estate agent, like, it's hard, like, to be able to have time with your family. Sometimes there's days where I don't see sunlight. Like, it's pretty crazy just because I'm trying to get to the next level and I'm trying to get to that point of leverage. But to get there, I have to do the work myself.
Right.
And that's just it, basically. What about you?
In terms of?
Like work-life balance and...
I mean, I'm trying to make this like a full-time thing at some point.
Yeah.
We were talking about other locations to start shooting that you gave me, which I really want to tune into.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool to have like a different change of scenery.
Yeah.
You know, a little change of scenery. Spice it up.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's pretty easy. As long as you just know how to time manage.
How many hours do you put towards this?
When I have like people on?
Yeah.
Maybe like 4, 5.
A day?
No, not a day. Usually when I...
Oh, like the day of?
The day of.
And then editing.
And then editing. But usually I have someone who helps me with the editing, which is nice.
You pay somebody for that?
No. I have someone.
Just someone that does it for free? That's blessed.
Nah, but shout out to him though. He really puts in the work, so I definitely help him out. We help each other out. But he helps me with the editing. But what I think puts the most time in it for me is really just just researching shit. What I'm gonna talk about, the topics.
Okay.
To keep things interesting, you know.
Do you time block at all or not?
Not really.
You have a calendar?
I mean, I have my own personal like planner that I use. So I
But no calendar.
but not sometimes.
That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I learned. Like when you ask some things I learned. Calendar, time block, everything you do. You're not gonna get it straight every time. You got to be realistic sometimes. Like you might want to break, might want to nap, like you want to work out, but like time block those times. Like
Dedicated for that.
For whatever it is.
I mean, I usually have stuff like that. Like I have set in place times and days that I'm gonna shoot. Or the issue is sometimes you have people who do bait, or maybe they cancel last minute.
Right.
That happens. So it kind of does fuck up the schedule a bit. It messes up your time. But then you just find something to just replace it with.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite common. I feel like once this kind of blows up and this picks up, I feel like I'll start to avoid that a bit more.
Yeah.
That way it's, I'm locked in. Like, let's say someone does cancel, maybe I have someone to replace it with.
Right.
Or I could, push this episode back and push this one forward. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's hard though. Don't get me wrong, it's hard.
So I mean time blocking, like I'm just talking about like you work Monday through Friday, like put that on your calendar. And then let's say before work, you're planning the podcast or researching people to put on the podcast. Time block that, and then time block this. Right. You're gonna see like a big difference in your life.
When did you start doing that?
I started when I started Keller.
Oh yeah?
I didn't know anything about I was the worst. I would wake up sometimes I still wake up late, but I would wake up at 9 a.m., go to work for 10:30, shower real quick and go to work. And then work happens, go home, do nothing.
So you're all over the place.
Yeah, I wasn't organized. And then when I started time blocking, that's where I started things like moving up the ladder.
Yeah.
And it's you got to be rigid with your time, but you got to be a little bit flexible. So it's I'm still working on it myself, but figuring that out is key.
I mean, I have a pretty good schedule and balance to it.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm wasting my time. Usually pretty active throughout the week, whatever I got to get done.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue though is just having those new people on and researching who to have on. That's what takes up the most time. That I usually set aside for a dedicated day. At least a whole day to see and see.
So
what
you're
I can change up.
Friday this week. I'm looking.
Yeah. For people. So whether it's maybe a Tuesday or sometimes I do it on a Sunday. I'm not doing anything. I'll dedicate it to that. Okay. Just seeing what I can do. It's hard. It's really difficult.
Try to do. I mean, I would just recommend doing we call it lead generating. Mm-hmm. Same thing for your podcast. You want at least probably a person a week in order to make this thing successful. Is have 4 podcasts minimum a month.
Yeah.
So it's I got to reach out to more people. You probably only know a few people that would want to do it.
That's the other thing too. Is it's not that easy. You really think about it. It's harder it's harder said than done, obviously. Yeah. But it's also just meeting those people who are willing to do it.
So you got to reach out to a lot of people. That's
there's a lot of people who don't want to either show their face or they don't want to. They feel a type of way, or maybe they're just not really interested. Maybe. Yeah. Just find other people.
Yeah.
It's just I think that's the most challenging part though.
I would put it like an hour a day. Instead of putting it in a day, you can still lock in for a day,
right?
But still put it in an hour a day. What time you usually go to work? 11?
Sometimes 9:45.
9:45. Let's say you wake up an hour earlier than you usually do, and go on LinkedIn to find people to do the podcast.
I've actually never thought of that. Using LinkedIn to search for people.
That's what you gotta do.
I feel like Instagram would probably be better. That too, but
if you want,
I never thought of LinkedIn.
Depends on your clientele. Do you want professionals? Do you want entrepreneurs? What do you want? Right. Yeah. And if you want everybody, then LinkedIn is a good option.
Yeah.
But what I learned recently is what you have to do is someone like me, for example, if you have me on, you got to ask that person for a favor. Listen, who do you know that wants to do a podcast? Or not even that. Go on their Instagram and go on their LinkedIn, see who they're following, see who's interesting, interesting to put on the podcast, and say, listen, can you connect me with this person?
I never thought of that.
That's what you got to do.
That's very smart.
Start doing it right away. And then you're going to have 4 people on your podcast.
That's not bad.
A month. And that's where you're really gonna pick up traction, because honestly, doing it on a spur of the moment, doing it with a friend,
it just slows it down.
Inconsistent.
It's inconsistent, And it's hard because I want to have a dedicated like schedule where it's like a weekly routine, a weekly drop. This is coming out,
That's what I'm saying.
And
then once you get so busy, God willing, you get so busy, that's when you start hiring and shit, But that's that thing I said earlier. Like, I have to be at that point
in order to,
like, I had to do all the work to understand the work to hire the work, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm doing all the work. Obviously, I have my team helping me, but I still have to do the work for myself and be successful for myself. So
right.
that's where I'm at.
It's hard, man.
Yeah,
it's not easy
for sure.
But
that Colombian food is getting to me.
Yeah, it was a good restaurant, right?
It was banging. We can't tell them that.
I put you on though.
You did.
I put you on.
You can take that.
I'll take that.
You can take that. Yeah.
But it was a good spot though.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I see you're not driving the TSX anymore. From what I last saw you.
I'm driving another TSX. You didn't realize it's TSX again.
I saw when we left the spot when it was raining like crazy.
Yeah. So backstory: me and Nico, really close friends back in the day. We were friends for a little bit, for like 3-4 years, and we just rekindled today. But between that time, I've had like 7 different cars. So he's like,
I think so. Those 3-4 years we weren't friends.
Like 3-4 years.
Yeah, we weren't talking for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought you were gone.
I was in a different planet.
You were locked in.
You know what I did? I escaped the Matrix. That's what it was.
You did.
And that's what you guys had to do.
We can talk about the Matrix if you want.
When you're ready, we'll talk about the Matrix.
I'm ready today.
You have any more crazy sauce in there or nah?
A lot of it's just more about your field.
Yeah, like
I want it to be really. I want it to be really like professional with it, but I'm not too knowledgeable with this. I feel like you have a.
What do you want to know? What about real estate do you want to know for yourself?
I want to know. You already spoke to me about the process. I want to know the changes, the effects it has, how I'm gonna start it. How can someone start it? Can you start it with no money? Is it easy to do?
I'll give you the rundown.
I want the full rundown for me
5 minutes
and everyone, and then we could jump into the Matrix.
And then we'll do the Matrix.
The Matrix.
So, real estate, as far as like being an investor, you're saying like maybe buying your first house or investing in property.
That's really what I want to understand. I want to understand how can you
the
start
investing
that?
process.
The investing process of it. What is that like for someone who is maybe starting out or just they want to dip their feet into it?
So it's a easy and a hard question. Because I can tell you can go find a property. I can tell you can go find a property, you can buy it for cheap and sell it for more. And honestly, that's how you have to think about real estate if you're looking at buying, fixing, and flipping it. But there's so many numbers involved into a deal that you don't realize when you're first starting out. So if you want to get started investing in real estate, if it's in New York, if it's in North Carolina, if it's in Las Vegas, I don't care where it is, let's set up a consultation call. So that's another plug. Brandon M. Realty on Instagram. But what you have to do is, for someone first starting out, you have to really invest in yourself as far as learning the process. Because I can tell you everything you need to do. And I can show you every single step of the way. But there's always going to be roadblocks. And you have to be sort of ready for those roadblocks. I'm not saying go read a textbook and then do it. I'm saying read the textbook and do it while you're reading the textbook. But to go ahead.
Roadblocks in what way?
Roadblocks in every way, bro.
Like what, for example?
Like, we're trying to buy our first 2 properties in North Carolina, and I'm talking about, like, we have the money, and it's still hard.
Why?
Because you need deal flow, right? Inventory is low, but you need deal flow. Like, you need a deal, right? And once you get that deal, and you're analyzing the deal, you're running the numbers, and you had to make at least 15 to 20%. That's the average of, like, your profit margin.
Mm-hmm.
To get to that 15, 20%, these wholesalers and agents and all these people listing these properties like are making a crazy spread. So it's kind of hard for you to make a spread. But you're the one putting up the capital, the risk, the time, the resources, everything, right? And the wholesalers are super valuable. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that there's roadblocks in finding the deal. There's roadblocks during the deal when you're fixing it. finding resources like contractors, lenders, like there's a lot of things that go into it that people don't see because Instagram is like you can buy a house with no money down, which can be true in certain senses, but you have to figure out how to get there, right?
Yeah, I always see that a lot. Like you always hear these people, you know, you can start doing this with no money, very little money. You don't need money to start doing this. What are they meaning? What are they saying when they mean that?
And we're gonna switch into the matrix right now
Okay.
because it is BS, right? You don't need money to get into real estate. Why is that? And I'm really gonna go off topic, but I'm gonna come back. Reason being is because money's not real, right? It's not real, bro. It's not real, and we're gonna clip this and we're gonna put it on Instagram, and I'm gonna get mad haters because I'm posting bad news, bro. You see how I went back to that? They're gonna be like, yo, what is he talking about? Money is real. I'm struggling. I gotta pay my rent.
It's all a mindset.
I got bills. We get it, bro. We get it. You understand what I'm saying? So now we're gonna get mad views off that. I got you.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna collaborate the posts with you.
We definitely are.
But money's not real. Just because if I can find an asset and that asset is distressed enough to where someone is willing to buy that asset, I just created money out of thin air. Right? So I took a skill set of learning how to find properties and I just sold it to an end buyer and made money off the contract. That's wholesaling. And that's why I say money isn't real because what did I provide there? I just provided value, right? Like I provided value. I just found the property and sold it to the end buyer and made money in the middle. Let's say I made 10, 20, 30,000. It's not real, right? You can buy real estate with no money down. So that's one method that people talk about. The other method is I'm going to leverage the living hell out of my situation. Ryan Pineda talks about this. He talks about buying property with credit. And people say, like, this is not possible. How are you doing this? I can't swipe my credit card and go buy a house, but you can. And people don't know that because you're not studying the game. You're not in the game. You're not learning from people that are in the game. And you're not willing to take that risk. That's why people don't know that. But if I have good credit, I can get a card for 50, 100,000, 0% interest, liquidate that card somehow, which if you want to know that, also contact me, Brandon M. Realty.
We can go into that too.
But liquidate the card, right?
Right.
And then use that as a down payment for the house. But people don't know how to do that because they don't research it. Or they don't want it bad enough, honestly. Like, I want it so bad that I spent, like, my youth and my time, like, even when I was 19 at the time we were, or 18 at the time, I spent all my time researching, bro. Like, that's all I do. And I spend time looking for the people, talking to the people, and I end up knowing a little bit. Even if I know a little bit of what they know, I know more than what a regular person knows. Right. But money is not real. And it's created through value, and it's just a trade for value. It's just like a statue for value. So if you're able to find that property, you'll be able to find the money to do the deal, or you'll be able to sell it to somebody and get money. And that's why I say money isn't real. But the investment process, to go back to it, it's simple, but it's not easy because all you have to do, like I said, is find that property, fix the property up, and sell it. But what goes into that process is paying somebody a wholesale fee, paying for marketing, finding an agent to find you that property, like me, or what was I getting into? I just lost my train of thought. Anyways, right?
All right, I'm with you.
That's the process of finding the deal. Now, once you found that deal, you have to go and fix it up. How do you fix it up? You hire a contractor. How many contractors do you have to go through to find the right one and say, like, this is my guy, this is my contractor, he's going to fix all the houses I buy? It's very hard because a lot of contractors are scammers. They're asking for down payments. You're not supposed to pay a contractor a down payment, but you can't find that contractor that doesn't take down payment. That's another process in itself, ebbs and flows. So finding the deal, one of the hardest parts, getting the contractor a little simpler, right, and selling off that deal with the right agent. So there's a lot of processes in between. I can help you get there. But it is hard. It's simple, not easy. And if you need money, I'll show you how to get the money. If you need deals, I'll be your agent to find you the deals. It's just a matter of you wanting to put in the work as well. I can't give you money and say, "Oh, I have money," and then you don't do anything with the money, because then you're just wasting my time and wasting yours and your own resources and money as well.
Damn. So that's the Matrix?
That's not even the part of the Matrix, bro.
I'm ready for it.
You're ready for the Matrix?
I'm ready for it. So that's really just what people really just blab about when you see all those clips that people post, how I made 10 million with zero money into real estate, shit like that.
Which is true. It's true. But it's not easy.
Okay.
Because a lot of those people use private money lenders, which is a whole nother topic where someone lends you money to put down on a property, or they lend you the whole amount for the property. Which is true, but like, you as the person need to have that skill set of like, listen, I just found this deal. Nico, you have a great job. I know you have a lot in your savings account. You have a home equity line of credit. Can you loan me money in order to get this deal? You'll make this amount in interest. That's a skill set in itself, where like someone coming into the game, someone like me, for example, coming into the game, I can't just be like, which I can and I have in some instances, be like, yo, give me this money and I'm gonna buy a property and like figure it out. You can't do that. You have to know the process. You have to know the whole, situation. Right. But once you start learning and start getting deal flow and things under your belt and results, that's when things come. So it's just like being patient. But I can definitely help you with the process. So
that take you a while to learn.
Brandon M. Realty on Instagram.
We'll clip that.
That
take you a while to learn.
What?
Like just all that. Like you just know.
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
Every rope of the game. I'm
gonna be honest. Like a lot of people ask for free game, and I'm like completely the opposite. I'm like, yo, fuck free game, bro. You know how much money I invest? Like, ask me how much money I invested in the past year. In the past year, in my education.
Thousands.
Ask me.
How much? How much have you invested?
Bro, I probably invested like $55,000 in myself.
55,000
in myself, bro. Bro, that's why you don't see me with a Rollie on. Bro, you know how much lines of credit I have? I can go to the Rolex store right now and buy a Rolex. But I'm like, yo, fuck that. Yo, fuck the Rolex, fuck the BMW. You know why? Because I want those things and I can't wait to have them. But I'm only going to get them when I say, like, yo, you became that man. Like, you had to invest 50, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 in yourself to be able to go buy that Rolex. Like, that's a flex, bro.
Damn.
But I can buy the Rolex right now if I wanted to.
But you're not.
But I'm not, because that's all up front. It's like, yo, I've only made it this far. I haven't made it yet. I'm not saying I fucking made it. I'm not saying I'm rich. And all the Rolex is a test. Like, it's like, yo, you fucking made it. Like, welcome to the club. You're in the Rolex club. Like, you're cool now. Or all that car is like, yo, you made it. Like, that's that status symbol.
You achieved that part of it.
Yeah, but like most people don't see, like, a lot of people can fake that shit. But like most people don't see the real ones. Like,
well, the real ones don't buy all that shit. People who have it like that.
I wouldn't say that's true.
But a lot of people that a lot of people who do flex money like that, who say they got it, the ones who don't are really the ones who have it. Most of the time.
Yeah, it depends.
Most of the time.
I
feel like a lot of times you can see when someone's faking it.
For sure.
Most of the time, at least. A lot of people just have shit on.
But you don't see, like, the type of person that man had to, like, to own a GT3 RS. Let's put it in this perspective. To own a Porsche GT3 RS and buy it brand new off the lot, you can't just buy a fucking Porsche GT3 RS. Even if you have $250,000 sitting liquid in your bank account, and you say, yo, I want that Porsche. I want it in green too. You can't buy it because you don't have that allotment. You gotta have an allotment to buy a Porsche, bro. An allotment to buy a Ferrari. So that man that you had to become to buy the Porsche and the Rari, it outsees everything. Jim Rohn says it best. Don't make $1 million. Well, it wasn't Jim Rohn. It was like one of his mentors. Don't make $1 million for the $1 million. Make the $1 million for the man it will make you. And that quote sat with me, bro. And it's like, bro, I can, like, this is like a decent watch, whatever, Versace, whatever. It's not no Rolex, but like, I'm wearing this watch. Like, I wear this watch every single day, bro. The amount of real estate showings I go to, bro.
With the watch?
With the same watch, same client. But it's like, yo, don't worry. Like, I'll have one for every day soon. But I'm only gonna buy it when I know it's right. When I know, listen, like all these investments fucking paid off. You invested in yourself and you made it. And I can't wait to make that video. Like I'm like manifesting babe, whatever. Like I like cannot wait to make that video. And it's gonna be a regular video. It's gonna be a selfie video. It might be a story. I don't know if it's gonna be a post. I'm gonna be like, yo, I just bought this fucking Rolex. I just bought this Rolex. You know how much bread it took me to buy this Rolex? $100,000. Oh, but it's only worth $10,000. No, I fucking invested in myself, and I made the return, and I'm here. If I don't make the return, I go bankrupt, bro. I don't care. Money's not real. Telling you, bro.
I think we're ready though. I think we're ready to go into it. Let's dive into
The
it.
Matrix. That was like half of it, but it's all fake, bro. It's all fake.
I guess if you're in that world, I guess you could see it like that. You look at it that way. Most people aren't gonna look at like, oh, the money's not real. They look at it like, I need this. What are you talking about? You're lying to me.
Right. So it all comes from like abundancy, right?
Right.
Like I'm not the richest man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm the most honest realtor you'll ever know, right? Money is hard to find. Money's hard to come by. I respect everybody that works. I worked a long time. My parents worked. My grandma, everyone in my family worked a regular job. My sister, like, they work regular jobs. I respect everybody that works their type of job. But money is not real. I'm trying to tell you, like, money is dead ass not real. Like, bro, you're gonna tell me Amex, right? American Express wants to give a kid, I don't even know at this point, $150,000 in lines of credit, bro. A kid, 22 years old, they're gonna give him $150,000. Where did they get that money from? I don't know, right? They're probably borrowing it from other people. You put money in your bank, right? And this is like we'll start talking about like banking and shit. But like you put $10 in your bank, the bank is able to loan out $90 because of fractional reserve banking, bro. So if you put like $1,000 or like $100,000, they're able to loan out $900,000.
Right.
Am I wrong? Cut that. Nah, let's say you give out $100,000. This is a 9-to-1 ratio. I was wrong. Let's say you have $100,000 in the bank. The bank is able to lend out $90,000 of that, or other way around. I don't give a fuck because it's not real. Anyways, right? So like you put money in the bank and you're able to borrow money from the bank,
Right.
but that's where Amex is getting the money because obviously you're giving the bank, when you put money in your bank account, you're just letting them loan money. That's it. So they're just taking money from money, right? So they didn't create shit. You ever get like $200 out of your bank account? You're like, yo, where is this? Like, okay, whatever, it's $200.
Right.
You see how fast that shit goes?
It's quick.
You ever take out money, cash money?
Yeah, it's quick.
I just got $200.
200 is nothing.
Yeah, I got $200 out of my account. I have cash now. Where the fuck are they getting that money? You ever transferred money to another bank and get it in the next day?
It's instant.
So you're telling me the bank.
I see where you're going.
Now hold on.
I see where you're going.
This is Chase Bank. This is American Express. I transferred money from Chase to American Express and it gets there within a day. You think Chase is bringing a truck and bringing it to Amex? Like, oh, here's 100. Like, no, it's fucking fake, bro. It's fake.
That's what you mean by that.
It's fake, bro. It's not real. It's fiat. But that's just like my argument. Like yeah, you can work so much and you can save so much and it sucks. Like what happens if you just leverage the money, right?
Right.
Like what happens if you just go into debt for the money? Oh, but I'm going in debt. Like, what do you mean, bro? So you're telling me you're gonna save $100,000 to buy your first house, but you can just borrow that $100,000, and you could have done that 10 years ago?
But you still need to
and then you could have had compound interest on that success?
But you still need to pay that back, though.
Obviously, you got to pay it back, Nico. It's not real, but...
But it's real in that sense.
Of course.
So,
or you can go bankrupt. Right?
Right.
What happens when you go bankrupt?
You're done.
Do you die?
Of course not.
Exactly. You still live, right?
Money's
you still live. And you just wait 7 years and you do it all over again. Or you wipe it off your credit, and Brandon M. Realty to do that. And start again, bro. It's fucking fake.
So is that easy?
It's fake. It's sad, but it's fake. But it's also real.
So basically, to buy that 20 of those, it's not real.
Bro, I swear to God, and I'm a religious person, so I swear to God, I can go into Rolex tomorrow and fucking buy a Rolex. If I wanted to, I'm not gonna do it. It's a stupid decision because I do have to pay off the money, right?
Right.
It's real in a sense. But what happens if I go cop a Rolex with the line of credit that American Express gave me, right?
Right.
And I use it for marketing, and then I make the 10,000 back? Is it real?
Technically not.
No, because I provided value in the marketplace and I got paid. And I just used $10,000 of debt and paid it back, and use it as a marketing tool. Right? That's how you gotta think about it, bro. And that's where skill sets come into play, and that's why everyone talks about skill sets now. Like, you need a skill set, which is true. It's crazy. Like, you're only getting paid. Like, why are you in the situation that you're at? And like I said, I love everybody that works, but
it's the value. It's what value you bring to the market.
Exactly. If you're working at McDonald's and you're complaining about minimum wage, 16 an hour or whatever, like, it's because of the value you're providing. Anybody can flip a burger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I go into a house and I get a house and I break the house and I fix it, not everybody can just do that.
No,
right?
But you added value to it.
I'm adding value. I'm forcing value into the house, and I'm also providing a good product, so I'm getting paid on that service. That's why people that do fix and flips make $50,000, $100,000 a flip. Because you're doing so much work. Like, not everyone is willing. There's some consumers that do this, by the way. Not everyone is willing to, like, buy a foreclosure property, buy it all fucked up, and fix it and flip it, or live in it.
Right.
Because it's a lot of work. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want that stress. I want that free headspace, which makes sense. I get that as a consumer, but that's why the people that are in business make money.
You think that's hard to? Is that hard to get into, buying and flipping, for someone who's starting out?
Like I said, it's hard because I'm still getting into it, right? So it's hard, but
for, like, someone regularly, like nobody in type of, like, not in real estate, like, just me. Like, let's say I have nothing. I see a property, I buy it, I could just flip it. Like, I just fix it up. Though. Why not?
Because you got to invest in yourself. That's where I go back. Like, you got to invest in yourself. You got to take the knowledge, find the people, network. Like, you have to figure that out for yourself.
So before, let's say
you buy a property right now.
Like a beat up property, right?
I'll find one for you right now.
We fix it up. I can't just...
No, because what if you buy that property and it needs $100,000 in plumbing?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, that's what I mean by fixing it up. You have to see what needs to be...
You gotta see what needs to be fixed.
I'm assuming you need to find fucking plumbers.
Yeah, you can find
all that shit.
Yeah.
So after that, you're pretty much good.
Yes and no, because you can be buying the property at the wrong price.
Okay.
So, like, not everybody could do it because, like, you got to find the property at the right price. You have to put in your deal analyzer. You have to calculate it. There's a bunch of shit you have to do in order to make, like, they say buy real estate and wait, not wait and buy real estate, right? Mm-hmm. That's the first one. So you got to start buying property. Second is you have to buy the property at the right price. You don't win in real estate when you sell. You win when you buy. So you have to buy that property as, like, yo, these numbers make sense. Let's do it. Let's make a 15 to 20% return. If you don't calculate it, you can make a 0% return. You can lose money. You can net negative. So it's like it takes that knowledge to get there.
So it really just depends on what the market value is at for that property. Depending when you buy it.
The after repair value, yes. What does it cost when it's fixed up? But then also depending on the repair costs. How much do you think it's going to take to fix this property? You get a contractor, you get estimates, right? So like I said, it's simple, it's not easy.
Right. But then all that just comes in, you need money to play with. You need a lot of money to get into that too.
It's not real though. You forgot? You forgot?
It's not real. It's not real.
So it's not real. So you get a line of credit.
Borrow the money.
Put
it into the house. Or I have to purchase the house first.
So this is like legit the answer, right? Because I've been finding this answer for the past like 4 months now.
I want to know the answer.
You can't just go to a lender, which is a bank or officer, whatever. You can't just go to a lender and say, Mr. Johnson, I have an $80,000 credit card and no money, but we can liquidate the credit card and buy the house, and you can still lend us the 80%. No, Mr. Lender's going to say, what the fuck? Right? Mr. Johnson, he's going to be like, no. I want you to have some skin in the game. That's what it's called, skin in the game. I want to see that you're putting up your own money, your own capital, and your own credit to buy this property. So now what do you have to do? You have to get creative. Most hard money lenders are going to say, listen, Brandon, I can't let you buy a house and just say you have a credit card like that. I don't feel safe about that. So you have to find a way to get the money off the card, have it sitting in your bank account as cash, liquid cash, so they see you're not in debt, right? But this is the trick. The lender still runs your credit, right?
Right.
The lender still runs your credit, so you can't have debt on your personal name, right? You can't have a massive amount of debt.
Right.
They don't want to see that the $50,000 in debt that you have is the $50,000 that you have in a bank account because you're still no skin in the game.
You're fucked.
Yeah, you still have debt, right? But if you have a business card, it doesn't show that debt on your credit, right? So you have to liquidate the card. Then you have to tell Mr. Lender, I have $60,000 of available capital in the bank, right?
Right.
Then they're going to start lending to you. But is the $60,000 yours? No, it's the bank's. And then when you make your profit and sell the property, you pay the $60,000, you pay the lender, and you make your spread.
So you're saying if you don't have if you have a business, you said account, they can't see your credit, your debt?
If you have a business credit card, they cannot see your debt.
Really?
On your personal side. There's still business credit scores, there's still things like that, but a business is its own entity. So a business will have its own debt. You have a social security number, the business has its own social security number in a sense. Tax ID number, EIN. So if I have $100,000 in debt with American Express, no one's going to see that on my personal name. Nobody. Just to have an inquiry.
Even if let's say I'm in debt, my personal shit.
What do you mean?
Like my personal stuff. They can't see it on my business side.
No, personal, they're always going to see it.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah. They can see it, but not in...
Yeah, but if you're on your business, they don't see it, yeah. That's why you got to get business credit.
So that's the
Brandon M. Realty.
So that's the only way you can do it, really.
Brandon M. Realty. Yeah, but like it's not real, bro. We're all in the fucking matrix. And obviously I'm still working. I just mentioned work-life balance. Like I'm still freaking grinding to the top.
Right.
But money is real in a sense. You do have to live your life. You do have to eat food. But how do you get money quicker is by providing value and leveraging debt. Leveraging people as well.
Just got to keep providing value to the market.
That's it, bro. It's, we laugh about it, but I'm being dead serious. And I can't wait to that point. Rolex, M3, Porsche. Like, I'm not even a materialistic guy, bro. Like, look at how I'm dressed right now. I'm wearing a freaking white collar from, like, H&M, I think. Like, I don't care. I'm going to wear the same shit. But, like, I'm going to have that Rolex, and I'm going to have that M3, bro.
You're going to stunt.
I'm going to stunt. I'm going to pull up, and then, you know, they're going to be like, oh, his time is valuable because he has a Rolex. Like, I just bought my time back with the Rolex, bro. That's the caption. When I get that Rolex, they're going to be like, that's the caption, like,
that's the money
I just bought my time back.
That's the money you put in.
I just bought my time back. They say you can't get time back. I just bought it. That's the caption, bro.
We'll clip that.
We're definitely clipping that. But like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't even care for that shit, and I'm not materialistic. Like I actually like Rolex. I like how they look.
You don't feel like I feel like people say that, but they change once they have money.
Yeah, it's all bullshit because it's fake. It's not real, right? Like. I came not from the hood, but like my family's not the richest family. Like I like Rolex and I like BMW just for the brands that they are. the status, if you will, they provide. But I like BMWs. Like, if you talk to anybody I know now, like, bro, like, he's a BMW fanboy. I like the way the Burpos pop. I like the way the interior is. I like the way the paddles click. I like the way the stick shift is. Like, I like it. So I'm going to buy it. Right?
Right.
So I'm not a materialistic person in a sense, but, like, those things do bring other values, like being a materialist or whatever, and being in car clubs and being in watch clubs and networking events. But, like, I like it, and it's going to come regardless, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, bro.
It's not real.
It's not real. I can buy it tomorrow, like, but, like, I'm going to work my ass off to pay off that Rolex. Like, why would I do that if I can just work my ass off now and then buy the Rolex and be like, yo, I really made it.
I hope I'm there when you buy all 20 of them.
Nah.
I just want to be in the background.
I'm going to buy one at a time, bro.
One at a time?
And each thing is, I might engrave them, so I'm not able to sell it.
Oh.
Because, like, I fucking made it, right?
Right.
I have a Rolex, so why would I ever have to sell it? Let me engrave it and put the memory of how I got this Rolex.
That's value.
So, like... So like, if I buy my my first Rolex, it might be like when I buy my first rental property or something like that. Like, it's all gonna be like valuable, in a sense, you know, sentimental.
One thing I want to ask you is, let's say getting in your first rental properties, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people talk about getting, like duplexes, live in it, then they rent the other side out. Yeah. Is that something you could do without a real estate license?
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it as a regular person, yeah.
Yeah.
Regular person, like I'm fucking somebody. No, you can do it as
You are somebody. You are somebody.
You can do it as yeah, just no license, yeah.
Is it an easier process or something that you still have to learn?
I mean, like, you still have to do your numbers. Like, what are you getting in rent? Are you gonna be able to pay off the debt service, which is the mortgage? How much are you gonna have to pay in vacancies and maintenance? It's all a numbers game, but you have to start. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I don't know how to do the numbers. What if the tenant doesn't pay? Right? Like,
obviously.
No, but that's what people say. Like, what if the tenant doesn't pay? Oh, I'm not dealing with the tenant. Okay, so go fucking buy your own house, right? Buy a regular property. Well, I can't afford a regular mortgage on the property because I need someone to rent it out. So rent it out. Like, start somewhere, right? And it's just like I get frustrated because, like, even before I was an agent, like, I was hearing these things.
Yeah.
And I never wanted that negativity to get to my head because I never want that to stop me. Is that I don't know, right?
You look for the answer.
Yeah, I look for the answer. I look for, like, the okay, I don't know. How do I figure it out? Who do I need to talk to figure it out? Right.
That's the way.
Yeah. So it's like,
it just goes back to money's not real.
It's not real, bro. But there's somebody that I know that bought a house with a business credit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
They liquidated the business credit card, used it as a down payment, paid it off because they bought a duplex like that. And now they're living rent free. But it's like, you also, like, to do that, you have to be in a position of, like, either desperation, or, like, motivation. Like, yo, I'm in this situation. I had to get out. I had to figure it out.
It's not just something you could just jump in anytime, you would say.
No, you can, but I'm saying, like, for you to be, that creative, you got to, like, be passionate about it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna liquidate this credit card and buy a house. Like, no, you have to be passionate about that thing because, like I said, there's obstacles in the road, and you have to be able to burn through those obstacles or run through those obstacles and figure it out. Like, and most people, when they get that obstacle, if they're not passionate about it, if they have no vision, they're just gonna be like, all right, whatever. Can't liquidate the card. This method didn't work. All right, back to work.
Wait, we spoke about it a little bit earlier when we went out to dinner. What's the process for getting an LLC?
Brandon Emeralty.
I feel like you're the man for this, so.
So getting an LLC is very simple. You go to your Secretary of State website,
mm-hmm.
And you file for your LLC. Like, that's not hard either. You can go on LegalZoom and pay for it, or Busy and pay for it, or you can have LegalZoom and Busy pay for do it and just pay your state fees and get your EIN online. I always recommend that. Just because I got burned in the past and paid for multiple EINs.
How'd that happen?
What?
How'd that happen?
Just because I was young, like what was it, like 2 years ago? Even recently, like I wanted things to go faster, so I paid for that faster service.
Okay.
But me not knowing, like, okay, I'll just pay for this, and get the EIN right away. But it's trials and tribulations, and then also like finding the right people to teach you and mentor you. And if you need help setting up your LLC and getting business credit started, I'm more than happy to help. And kind of do it for you. Basically, what the other business does for the credit. I get small business owners, lines of credit and credit cards within 30 days. We try to aim for 50 to 100,000. Your credit has to be good. Has to be at a 700 plus credit score. There's a couple other requirements if you're looking for a consultation call. Brandon M Realty.
Yeah.
But we get 50 to 100,000, maybe a little bit more depending on your situation, depending how long you've been in business. There's so many variables, but we had to hop on that consultation call first in order to figure that out.
Oh, so you can help people like
get credit,
set it up. No, like an LLC as well.
Yeah,
you guys can do that.
Yeah, I'm a business consultant basically.
I might be calling you within the next few weeks.
Yeah, I mean so for the credit we take 10% on the back end. We will only set up an LLC for you or help you set it up or guide you if you're looking for business credit. If you're looking for me to set up an LLC for free, it's literally on YouTube. Not that hard. But getting the credit and learning how to get high limits at 0% is a skill set, and we just get 10% on the back end. So it's a success fee. So if I don't get you anything, which I highly doubt if I'm qualifying you the right way, if I don't get you anything, you don't get, you don't pay me anything. But if I get you $100,000, you pay me a $10,000 commission. And that's what we do now. But I'm really trying to not only do that, but like coincide that with real estate. So like if you're looking to buy a house, but I don't have any money. Money is real. I have none. Right?
Right.
I'm looking to create an all-encompassing experience for you.
I see.
Not really teach you how to buy real estate. I can guide you in certain ways. I'm not what's the word? I'm not a CPA, not an accountant, not a lawyer, not an attorney. But I can help you in certain ways. I can help you get the credit. I can help you find the property. And we can help you liquidate the credit to buy that property. It takes a little bit of work on your end and in the investing part. The credit part, it's a done for you service. We do it for you completely. But as far as like looking for property, we can help you with that in New York. North Carolina, we might have some deals for you as well. And that's really it. But definitely any type of business, even if you're not in real estate, we can get you funding. High risk industries, we can get funding as well. So, and that's like weed, by the way, credit repair and different type of sketchy. Real estate technically is a high risk industry. We can help you get funding as well.
Money's not real.
It's not real, bro. I'll show you. Like, I can literally pull up my credit lines like on screen, and you'll be like, "What? Like, what's going on here?"
What was the last? You posted a credit line a couple of days ago?
What, the 90K?
Was it the 90K or was it like 100,000? It was like 100,000 something, no?
Yeah, it's like 96K or some shit like that. That's Amex alone. Alone. At 0%. Oh, what can I do with 96K? How do I invest that? Those are questions I used to ask. But it's like, those are the wrong questions you're asking, bro. If you had to figure out, if you get a credit card, if I get you $100,000, first of all, I'm going to ask you what you're doing with the money, right? Because if you're not doing anything with that, I am more than happy to not help you get funding because you're not going to do anything with it. And I'm not a scumbag. I'm not just going to charge you $5,000 to $10,000 for you to do nothing with it. I can help guide you, but if you have a plan in place, then that's where it makes sense. Or if you already have a business and you need liquidity and cash flow, then it makes sense. But let's say you on your own were able to get $10,000 or $20,000. What do I do with it? You have to acquire the skill sets in order to make the money. You can't just take 10, 20,000 and make it work for you. Not unless you have $1 million in the bank and you're putting in the stock market, S&P 500, like that's where the money's going to work. But you really have to acquire the skill set, figure out what you're going to use the funding for, and then take action, right?
Right.
And that's it. Like I used to ask those questions like, oh my God, I have $90K in available credit. Like, what do I do with it? And that's like it's such a beginner question. I don't blame you because I asked that question for like 2-3 years, and I'm finally at the point where like, no, you're thinking about this the wrong way. You have to invest in your education. You have to invest in knowledge. You have to invest in certain things to get to that point with like where you can invest $90K.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that point I mentioned. Like I invested this amount of money in myself, to get to that point to where I can get the Rolex, to where I can get the BMW. Like I'm not afraid to spend $50,000 on myself,
right,
to learn. But I am afraid to like go and get that car for $50,000. I don't know why. And I really want the car, right? Like I really want the car. Like I see the M3, I see the Rolex, I see X5M, X3M. Like I see around me, I see people in my circle, but it's like, hold on, like take your time, Brandon.
Yeah.
Like figure it out. Make your money work for you. Invest in skill sets, invest in mentorships to get to that point.
Right.
And that's where I'm at now.
That's what I like. Money's not real.
It's not real, bro.
I think
Give me something spicy.
Something spicy? Like what?
What time we have right now?
We're at 1:16.
We're at 1:16 already?
It's pretty good.
Sheesh.
I was going to end it off there if there's anything else you wanted to share.
No, we're good then.
But if there's anything else you want to share before we end it.
Help you with real estate.
Okay.
In New York, licensed in New York, Long Island, Queens. More than happy to help you or a family member buy your first home, buy your next home, or sell your property. That's like my main thing right now. If you're looking to start investing in real estate and you're kind of stuck on how, I can help you get there. I can help you and show you the properties. On top of that, if you have no funding to get into real estate, I can help you there as well. Like I said, I help small business owners get funding at 0% interest within 30 days or less. So it's not just real estate. It's, marketing firms, insurance brokers, a bunch of other businesses that we can help get funded at 0% interest. We do charge a success fee on the back end, but we'll talk about that on the consultation call. That's really it on my end. We're buying properties in North Carolina, so if you have a really good deal in Charlotte metro area, Gastonia, Concord, all those counties, all the surrounding areas, be sure to hit me. Brandon M Realty is the tag. That's Instagram. Brandon Moran on Facebook.
We'll definitely have it in the description too. I got you.
For sure.
Definitely. We're gonna clip it, bro. We're gonna clip it.
But we gotta clip that.
We gotta clip a lot of stuff.
I got you. I'll show you how to clip it too.
All right, brother.
It was nice having you.
Good having you. It was good having you.
Thank you.
After a long...
It was
a long
nice of you having me.
It was a good 3 to 4 years, bro.
That's crazy,
but
bro.
We're back. We're back.
I got a whole beard now and shit. Like we're old.
You had a beard there before.
No, I didn't.
A little bit. You had a little bit of stubble.
No, I didn't.
All right.
2021, I didn't have anything, bro. It's crazy. But I'm proud of you for continuing the podcast. And
I appreciate it, bro.
And keep going, bro. Don't quit.
Definitely got to keep going with this.
For sure.
And I'll see you in the next one.
For sure.